tree. Well, that wore me the fuck out.
Well, let's just get started. That's number one.
And Dale could not have been more correct. This is Diablo's deliveries today. I got humbled on my CRF300L. His name's Diablo. And today we're going on our first Enduro race ever. I've never raced anything other than on foot cross country in high school. So this was a very new experience for me. This particular one is put on by SERA. It's a Southeast Race Association down here in Mississippi is where we're at right now. It's in Hattiesburg. This is called the Battle of Dixie. And it's a sprint enduro, meaning that there are two separate test loops or tracks, I guess you could say. And those two separate tracks, you do each one of them back to back 4 times each. So you race one, and then you have a start time at the next one, so you got to get over to the next one, and you'll start that, and then switch back and forth between test one's loop and test two's loop until you complete 4 of each. And it was absolutely humbling. The 300L is a 310-pound motorcycle, which is a lot heavier than what a lot of the guys are using out there. I mean, it can make it, but it's not gonna be super fun. I ended up lifting my bike like probably 25 to 30 times. I didn't have any really serious crashes because I never really got super high speed. Not to say that you can't have a bad crash, but I was basically just crawling around these single tracks, trying to maneuver the bike more than anything, and I would just kind of like lose balance, or I would end up hitting roots or something like that and slip. I learned that the 300L can do a lot, but it's not like super good at any one thing. A lot of the guys out there were using, 250 or 300 two-strokes that were probably a lot better suited and had a lot better suspension and engine and gearing than I did. So they were successful. They're also probably a lot better riders. We were riding in the C class, Destin and I, and that is probably right where we should have been. We were getting passed by a lot of B class riders and A class and AA as well. Because it was a sprint enduro, we were all kind of mixed in there. So every so often we'd get passed by people. I never actually really raced anybody because I never really saw any other C class riders. We all took off about a minute apart from each other. So actually this is a C class rider. That's Destin. So I did actually get to pass him like one time during the entire 4 hours we were racing. But I'll take it. It was just really tough for me out there because I realized that I don't have a lot of that single track skill, and having to constantly pull over for those higher level riders was also kind of ruining my flow. And then I was getting very tired throughout the day. So all that was kind of adding up to just a terrible race experience. But I can proudly say that I did finish. There were 4 other people in our class that did not finish. So there were 14 total C class riders, and 4 of them didn't finish, and then I took 10th. So I was in last place out of all of C class. But I did technically beat the guys that didn't finish, so bummer for them. Either their bikes broke or something like that. I'm not really sure what happened to them, but yeah, I'm just glad I finished. I'm proud of that. Destin finished right in front of me in 9th place, and then there were a bunch of guys that were like a half hour faster than us in C class, and I'm like, what are you doing in C class? They should probably be B class. But that's not for me to decide. That's for the AMA to decide or whatever. So overall, looking back on it, it was fun, but honestly, rewatching some of this footage is giving me PTSD of how hard it was. I mean, it was slick out there, especially as the race went on. A lot of tree roots started to show themselves, and so it became very difficult to not slip or fall. And, you know, you can see right here, I've got riders coming up behind me, so I'd hear their two strokes just bing, 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 bing. They'd be like bouncing it off the rev limiter, and I'd be trying to get out of their way. And so that was pretty annoying, trying to get out of their way constantly, because I didn't want to hold anybody up. You know, as a newbie in the racing world, you just don't want to be in the way, kind of a thing. You want to kind of be a wallflower. So that's kind of how I felt I was being. I did, however, learn something really awesome, and that's that it's okay to not be good. It's about trying your hardest, kind of a thing, and I know that's such a cop-out. That's what all losers say. It's like, as long as you try your hardest, that's all that matters. But I was really under-equipped and under-prepared for this race, so I learned a ton from it. I'm already looking at what my next bike's going to be, because the 300L isn't it. I by far had the heaviest bike out there. There was nobody on a heavier bike, or I don't even think there was a bike out there that was over 300 pounds. So I pretty much everybody I saw out there had a wood-specific bike, and so it has brought me to the internets, and I've started researching more about different bikes and different choices, 2-stroke versus 4-stroke, that kind of stuff. So it's kind of forced me to do a little bit more research and try to figure out what the best combo is for me. And so from this painful experience, I'm actually gaining a lot of knowledge, which is awesome. And as you can see, I don't absolutely botch it. It's not impossible to do it on the 300L. It's not comfortable. And I never felt like I was in like full control of the bike. I was kind of like riding right on the edge of what it could do, or what I could do with it, I should say. I'm sure there's a lot of riders out there that could take this bike and absolutely dominate in the trees, but I'm not one of them. I don't have that skill yet, but maybe one day. So it's actually it's caused me to rethink my bike choices and some of my gear, you know, like hand guards, for example. Like wraparound hand guards would have been nice. I don't currently have them on there, but I did knock my hand into some trees, so that hurt. So definitely getting those wraparound hand guards is important. And then other gear that I definitely was glad I had out there was my hydration pack. Somebody told me not to bring it with me because it was a sprint enduro and you're only out there for like 20 minutes at a time. That's probably true for riders that don't drop their bike all the time. I was dropping my bike, especially in the later loops, left and right. This is an early one, so I didn't fall all that much. But the later ones, I am dropping it constantly, and I'm getting very, very tired pulling my bike out of ruts and stuff like that. And there's another faster rider coming up and passing me. So again, this is test 1. I'm about to switch us over to test 2. Really, the two tests are very similar. They look like there's a lot of trees and single track. There's a lot of turns. There's not a lot of open space at all during it. And then, so I'm gonna cut all these loops short. I'm not gonna make you watch all of them. If you do, just let me know and I'll send you the like 4 hours of raw footage that I have. It is painful to watch, especially some of the later loops. But okay, let's switch it over to test loop 2. All right, this is test loop 2. The first guy that took off is an A rider, and then the second guy was a B class rider in our group, and then Destin's right in front of me, and then I'm picking up in the back because I know I'm going to be the slowest. You can see here, this is an early loop. It's not too bumpy. Now compare that to this. This footage right here is from later on in the day, and you're going to see that it is a lot more turbulent out there because it just got so chewed up. So that's just like a little comparison of the first part of test 2 early in the day and then later on in the day. So we're back here. This is our first loop on test 2, and probably our best one at that. And it's a lot like test 1. It's a lot of trees, a lot of single track, and you're just kind of trying to dart through. It's a woods race, and that is, again, something that I never practiced. There's one area here in Milton, Florida called Clear Creek OHV trails. I need to get out there more and practice my single track, because out on Eglins Reservation, it's a lot of just, if you watch my videos, they're like a lot of open, deep sand type riding, which has its challenges, but I was very ill-equipped for this particular race. Now's an awesome time for a plug where I ask you to like and subscribe. If you could like the video and subscribe to my channel if you're enjoying the stuff.